Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. Today we continue the sample series right here at BusyWorksBeats.com/sample. We're going to focus today on adding music to the sample. And I have a sample here and I'm going to show you a couple techniques that will speed your process up if you're in FL. So first thing we want to do is chop the sample up. That's usually the first step. Now the second step here is that we're going to go to channel settings. Now this... I'll go back a little bit. Now, also, you want to get it a close enough tempo.
I wanna be myself.
Okay, so I actually want the beat to be in that tempo. I don't want to speed it up or slow it down. So we're going to make the mode stretch mode. And in the time knob, you can actually left click and drag this. And in the top left, you can tell it how long you want it to be. Now, this one is acting kind of crazy. So I don't know what happened there with this knob here. That's weird. Oh, you know what? Because I know why. Okay, so let's make it unique as a sample. Okay, so it's not looking at the entire song. Let's go to channel settings, go to stretch mode, and now it will act properly. So this is what I talked about earlier in the series, if you remember, the difference between making it unique and making it unique as a sample. So now it's only looking at the length of just the sample. And now we could stretch it accordingly. So that's what the issue was. And now we're going to pull back the time to 2 bars. If you read in the top left, it gives you the bar count. And we want this to be 2 bars.
I wanna be myself.
Okay, so I have multiple chops here. The only thing we have to do is just get it to line up to the grid. So that's our only task. So we're going to hit Alt and just left click. And I lost the screen there. Hit Alt, left click. Just zoom in and just make sure the sample lines up with the column. It should lock in kind of automatically. But then we're going to make this unique as a sample. So this is part 2 chop. Go to channel settings. I like to keep mine on stretch mode. And then in the top left, you can read it. It says 2 bars. And we're going to pull it to 2 bars. So now it's going to lock in perfectly to 2 bars. Now you have to make sure your music is actually 2 bars of music.
I wanna be myself.
So let's do this for the next 2 bars. So I'll just keep that on loop as I get the next 2 sections. And then we're going to add music to this this looped section.
I wanna be myself. I wanna do my best. I wanna be myself. I wanna do my best.
All right, so I'm just preparing
I wanna be
that 3rd and 4th sample.
I wanna be myself. I wanna do my best.
Make sure you're saving it unique as a sample
I wanna be myself.
so you can time stretch it properly.
I wanna do my
Okay, so everything's time stretched. The map.
I wanna do all the things I feel that I must do. That's the way I wanna be free.
So, you know, I'll show you multiple ways to do this, but let's just route all these to this track. Let's channel routing, route selected to this track, because we want to process all of them the same way. And let's just cut out the low end. Let's make it lo-fi. Let's just give it some lo-fi qualities. Get image filter on. Give it a high pass filter, cut out the lows.
I wanna do my best.
And now the sample's there, but it's hollow. It's more hollow.
I wanna do all the things I feel that I must do. That's the
Let me
way
try one thing with this preamp. It may or may not sound good.
I wanna be myself.
That just kind of makes the kick more prominent.
I wanna do my best.
The reason I'm pulling it down to about here
I wanna do
is because I want to add my own hi-hat rhythm, and I don't want the sample to kind of override mine.
I wanna be
And we're not going to make it a full entire beat, so let's just open up an Omnisphere instrument. Now, the first thing you need to do is tune. So every sample is not tuned to 440 hertz, okay? Very important. So let's say the sample is tuned to 445 hertz. It's going to sound out of key. technically that note is in the key, but if it's not tuned right, it sounds out of key. So it's the same way you don't just pick up a guitar, start playing notes. You have to tune it first. You have to do that with your instruments when it comes to samples, because every sample is not tuned to 440 hertz concert pitch tuning. So now we're just going to map out the notes that are in the scale. And you could do this with a plugin called Scaler. Kind of saves a lot of time. And let's do it this way. Now, the issue with this is when you use this plugin is that the tuning is not, you can't change the tuning from what I understand. There's probably a way somewhere, maybe under preferences. And before I say you can't do something, let's just check. But from what I understand, the tuning is just set to 440 hertz. And that means, now you could, I thought of a workaround actually. What you could do is pitch it with the pitch wheel. But I'm not hearing a pitch bend, so that's not effective. So the workaround didn't work. Okay, so what we're going to do here is just listen to the notes. Now, if you're using this tool again, I showed you how being a different tuning can make you sound like you're out of key. So I would prefer doing an instrument first, like any other synth first, and using the pitch tool, and then taking those notes that you map out and putting it into a scaler, as opposed to starting with scaler if you don't know how to understand tuning differences. Now, luckily, this one has the same tuning.
I wanna be myself.
So we're in A major or F sharp minor. And now you could use this tool to now pick out different chords. Let's go to F minor. You can even do it as sevenths. It's kind of hard to tell the root note. Boom. So it's boom. F sharp. Okay, so it's F sharp minor. So we're gonna use ninth chords. Okay, so let's drag these in. Now you don't have to use these chords. I'm just kind of grabbing whatever. We're gonna drag those into Omnisphere. And now we need to map these chords out to match the timing. So I'm only gonna use those other chords at the turnaround. So let's say this, drag this over here. And let's make these shorter. Pull these together. Okay, a little tedious work here, but it's all worth it at the end. So we're gonna grab this, drag it to that 8th bar, so C sharp up top. So I'll pick a different sound. Right now I'm just mapping out the chords. I don't think we need to be over that far. Okay, let's. It just sounds so funny as a sawtooth. Let's switch out the sound to a Rhodes piano. Give you more of an R&B vibe. So at this point, I'm just finding instruments that actually match the tone of the record. And I'll show you a couple mixing tricks to make it blend as well. Keep in mind, the song that you're sampling is probably mixed and mastered. The beat you're making is not mixed and mastered. So you have to make them match in tone. I wanna be myself. So I'm gonna go dun, dun, dun. I wanna be myself. Gonna switch this to a major. Take that third and the seventh up one.
I wanna be myself. I wanna do my best.
I wanna go down. So I'm just gonna switch up a couple chords. Dun, dun. Switch this to a minor. I know I'm moving kind of quickly. Oh, that's why. I know. Again, I'm moving really quick here because there's too much to teach you in a short amount of time. Just trying to figure out the proper chord to invert here, if you're wondering. There's one tone that's just standing out. It's wrong. One of these tones. Oh, that's probably why we don't have that tone there. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, I hacked those chords together, so don't think there's a rocket science approach to it. Because this is a trichord, and that's not the chord I exactly wanted.
I wanna do all the things I feel that I must do. That's the way I wanna be free.
Okay, so now we're adding stuff on top. Now the key is to make it blend. So you want to think about textures and effects. Now the sample is not super wide, it's not super bright, it's not all these things. So you have to make it match. And one quick way you could do that is route it to the same exact channel as your other sample. So now it sounds like it's a part of the music.
I wanna do all the things I feel that I must do. That's the way I wanna be free. I wanna be myself. I wanna do my best. I wanna do all the things I feel that I must do. That's the way I wanna be free.
These chords could be way better. Yeah, do not copy those chords because they're mangled together. But now you can't tell that it's an added instrument. You do want to take care of this instrument. So what you could do, let's say you wanted to correct a couple things, you could separate the instrument in the mixer with Control L, but then you can route it directly by right-clicking the up arrow and route directly to that track. So let's say, I'll say the E piano is too wide. I can go to my Imager plugin and narrow the sound. So now it sounds more in the mix. I could tuck it in the volume. Now it really sounds like it's just part of the record.
I wanna be free. I wanna be myself. I wanna do my best. I wanna do all the things I feel that I must.
Let's try it. Let me try one more chord here. My brain's gonna figure out the right chord here. 1, 2. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's try a dominant 7, 8, 9, 10. This may or may not fit.
I wanna be free. You, my baby.
Oh, you know what? We're missing the note A. That's why.
You, my baby. Wait, I wanna be free.
Yeah, the dominant 7th fit. Let's turn the volume up just so we can hear.
Wait, I wanna be free. I want.
Turn the sample off for a
Wait.
second. Yeah, that's the chord we wanted.
I wanna be.
You can learn music theory at busyworksbeats.com/music theory. We have free training for you and a chord code chart. That's how I knew to jump directly to a dominant 7th at that point.
Wait, I wanna be free.
I think that sound
Wanna
fits.
be my.
So let's add a bass and then we'll end this example. Just showing you how you could add all this stuff. So let's do synth bass. And let's do rating. Try one of these.
Wait, I wanna be free. I wanna be myself.
Again, we'll do the same thing. Route it to its own mixer insert and then right click, route to this track only. So now we can do different stuff to the bass if we have to. But then we hear it through the filter of the downsampling that we did.
Wait, I wanna be free. I wanna be myself. I wanna do my best. I wanna do all the things I feel that I must do. That's the way I wanna be free. Wait, I wanna be free. I wanna be myself. I wanna do my best. Wait, I wanna be free. I wanna be myself. I wanna do my best. I wanna be myself.
Okay, so now I'm just playing the bass with the keyboard, typing keyboard. If you want to do that, go to options, type in keyboard to piano, and you can play your QWERTY keyboard, typing keyboard as a, use that as a MIDI controller. Well, I can't say MIDI, but note controller.
I wanna be myself. I wanna do my best. I wanna do all the things I feel that I must do. That's the way I wanna be free.
Okay, so hopefully that recorded the entire thing because that was a good take.
I wanna be myself.
Then you can swap out the bass.
I wanna do my best. I wanna do all the things I feel that I must do. That's the way I wanna.
Now, if you don't want that filter on it, you could just send it directly out.
I wanna be myself. I wanna do my best. I wanna do all the things.
But again, I kind of want to make it feel like it's a part of the record.
That's the way I wanna be free. I wanna be myself. I wanna do my best. I wanna do all the things I feel that I must do. That's the way I wanna be free.
Okay, so if you want to hear more of the bass, you would just lighten up on the filter, cutoff filter. But again, you're going to be blending that.
I wanna be myself.
In this case, I would just turn up the bass.
I wanna do my best. I wanna do.
And that's how you make your music feel like it's a part of the sample. So that's the key to it, is running it all through the same effects. So it sounds like it's from the same group of stuff. So I'll end it here. You could add drums and do all that, the rest. But that's the key. So thank you for watching today. And finishing this sample series is Game from BusyWorksBeats.com.